good morning, good evening, good night. No matter where you on this planet, I'm sending you love and light. Check me out. I want to talk about a couple things. I'll make it quick. One, I realized that alleviation of suffering, like mental anguish, it comes from ridding yourself of desires, bro. I'm not saying don't have goals, don't be motivated and inspired. I'm saying control it. Because desire left unchecked, I have you pursuing a great many things. And when you desire something strong enough and your end goal isn't met, like failure is required in life. You have to fail to grow. But if your desire overrides that logic, it'll put you in a state of depression, chaos, bro. You might quit whatever goal you're trying to obtain because you desire to win, you desire to accomplish it so much that you're missing a lot of the jewels and the keys on this path, right? You're missing a lot of the information, a lot of the insight that you need to acquire in order to be successful. But if you just, in whatever it is, I feel, I don't know. But I mean, I can't say for sure that it applies the same for everybody, but I do know that some of us can be so driven, right? And I get the drive, but if all you focusing on is the drive, then you miss the scenery. You see what I'm saying? You miss a lot of the objectives, the checkpoints along the way that could actually help you not repeat certain cycles and synchronicities. And a lot of that just comes with acceptance, surrender, being real, living in truth, but also freeing yourself from desire. When you accept and surrender to a thing, when you accept, not saying to give up, this is not a meek and weak perception. It's one of those things that will keep you at peace and keep you logical. It'll keep you intelligent and not emotional, you see, by accepting and surrendering things to life. Because as much as we like to attribute our success and failures to ourselves, we don't really actually control things in life. It appears everything's an illusion. It appears as though we have control, but we don't. Really, you commit to actions and things happen. Random chaos. You can plot, plan, blueprint all you want, but ultimately, it's in the hand of the divine. Like, what will be yours will be yours, I've discovered. And sometimes the things that we desire, they're not meant for us to acquire. This is where acceptance and surrender comes in, because if you desire it too strongly and you can't see that, it'll mess you up. Also, it'll have you looking at yourself differently. You might internalize this information differently, which brings me to my next topic. Do you know from my perspective, what is truly beautiful about a person and what is truly a healthy perspective is to really just love yourself. Don't do these comparisons. And it ain't just loving yourself. It goes back into the acceptance and surrender of thine own self. You have to accept yourself, man. You got to accept your faults. You got to accept your flaws, your imperfections, your failures. You got to accept you. When you can accept you and just surrender the notion of whatever type of preconceived notions you have about yourself in a negative light, if you could just let that go, you will find yourself unburdened from a lot of negative emotion and psychology, bro. Straight up. And I hope this makes sense. I really do. Because I'm trying to make it, I want this to be as clear and concise as possible. I discovered the world can call you beautiful or ugly. That's not what really defines you. You know what really defines you is yourself. The most beautiful aspect about a person is somebody who can actually accept themselves for who they are, bro. Like, the older I get, the more I realize it's actually okay to be somebody that people don't understand. It's okay to have the type of life that people might not agree with or understand, to have a belief system that people might not be able to see. That's okay. Love yourself, bro. Rid yourself from the worldly desires. I'm not saying don't acquire things, acquire them. Life itself is a construct, and it's one of the constructs that it's a building and destructive construct. Like if you look at the universe, stars, planets implode, explode, all of this, new life is created, universe continues to expand, a volcano can go, full blast eruption on Earth, destroy a bunch of land within a couple thousand years, everything's back. It might look a little different, but it comes back. So the natural organism of the universe is create and destroy, bro. And that's basically what Earth is. Like, I feel like it's a testing ground, but it ain't just that, because that's another video. But it's one of creation and destruction. Can you build? What can you build? When you think about your soul's purpose, that's the ultimate culmination of your whole life's journey, like your soul purpose, your soul, your feet, your walk through life. What was your purpose through life, bro? And that's for you to decide, not the world. And I feel like we start losing our power over the decisions we make and how we perceive ourselves when ego and desire creeps in too deeply, bro. You have to be able to be okay with yourself. You have to be able to let go, surrender to the things that, not give up, not be weak, but just let go of the things that you can't control, bro, because it's all an illusion. So to really tap into your inner beauty, it's just to recognize it. It's just to see it in yourself, even if nobody else does. That's a beautiful human being right there. To be completely alleviated from the concern of other people's opinions, because you know who you are, you know, and to be able to control your desires in a way that is not impactful upon oneself in a negative light. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful quality to have. So I just want to get that advice, that perspective. I'm not even going to call it advice. It's just a perspective. You want to be beautiful, see yourself as beautiful first. Then the world will embrace you. You want to have peace? Figure out how to combat your ego and your desires, bro. And honestly, figure out why you even have them. That's actually the weapon you need to wield against the ego. It's figuring out, why is this there, bro? Because even if it's a positive thing, once again, the ego can creep into the mind. It can come into play, and it can infect that positive thing that you're doing. You can start looking at things and people the wrong way behind what you're doing. You know what I mean? Don't create these sanctimonious platitudes that make you better and more blessed in your mind than other people and do these comparisons, because at that point, it's not beautiful, bro. It's ego. It's arrogance. It's, you know, it's kind of disgusting to be like that. So be human. Be light. Spread love. You know what I'm saying? Be more like God. You know what I mean? I'll be back with more later. I'll wrap this up with my mantra. Good morning, good evening, good night. No matter where you are on this planet, I'm sending you love and light. I'm gone.